What's up guys, and welcome to my tips and tricks video on how to properly create bullets in God Eater 3. So, God Eater 3 is an RPG Monster Hunter style game where you team up with your friends, kill all sorts of weird monsters called origami, and one of its most inventive things that you can do in it is create your own ammunition to use on said origami. Now, a lot of people have questions in regard to the bullet creation, and seeing as I did one of these videos before for, I think it was God Eater Resurrection, and people seem to like it, I figured I'd go ahead and do it again for this game. So, first things first, you're going to go into your terminal. Ta-da! Easy. First step is always the easiest. So, you're going to go into your loadout from here. You're going to go all the way down to where it says bullets. You're going to open that up. And then you're going to see, when you get far enough into the story, a new option open up, which says Custom Bullets, which is on the right-hand side of the screen. If you hit R1, you'll go ahead and open up there. I've got a few examples here that I'd like to show off on some of the things you can do, some easy stuff, and some harder stuff. So, this is one of the easy ones. I name it Flame Blast. It costs a decent amount, but it's good for punching a little bit of damage, you know, in a short amount of time. So, let's go ahead and take a look at it first. Real simple, just 559 damage, you know, easy peasy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the modules for it, and I'll explain some of the techniques you're going to want to utilize to make your bullets. And from there, I'll go on to a more complicated setup. So, you're going to hit triangle to enter your menu for your bullet. You go to Edit Bullet. Then you can go to Edit Modules. Now, the other thing you should probably keep in mind is if you're over any of these blank squares, and you hit triangle, you can then create a bullet. We'll go ahead and go over some of that process after I show off the modules for this and get you past some of the basics. So, let's go ahead and edit this and take a look at this module. This is a pretty simple setup. All it is two modules. There you go. So you got a sniper, straight normal, and a bomb, which is stop and normal. Those things mean different things depending on the actual link. So, if you see on the right-hand side, it'll say a cost for each of the individual bullets, which will add up to your total cost, which is 232 for this particular bullet. Now, your cost for this, and this is something new, they didn't have this in the last one. Your cost for this means that you can only have a finite amount of those bullets to spend on a mission. So, if I exit this, then go over here to the left-hand side, you can see that I have Flame Blast here, and I have 4 of them currently. You are allocated 1,000 points, or cost, or however you want to word it, for any given mission for the amount of ammo that you bring for your custom bullets. So, as you can see, the total goes up, goes down, and if I go past 1,000, well, I can't bring 99 of these because they'd be too powerful. So, we can bring 4, no big deal. So, the way this module works, and we'll go ahead and break it down for you, is it starts off with a sniper shot. Easy, right? Basically, what I'm doing is I'm using the sniper shot as a vehicle to carry the bomb shot. So, other things that you want to get into with this are on button press, when things hit, things like that. I'll go into a little bit more of that when we make our own bullet here in a minute. So, this is just a really simple example. Anybody can do this. You can go ahead and copy this, and if you just want to leave it at that, that's, you know, more than doable as far as custom bullets are concerned. As far as I've seen in the game, these custom bullets will do more damage per punch against things that are weak for them. You can change these elements as well if you want, so you can hold triangle and you can choose everything, and then this little menu pop-up shows up, and you can change the size of the bullets, you can change the element of it, like I could make these binds, and, you know, I can make the sniper shot binding, and, you know, there's all sorts of other things you can do. Like I can just make this lightning-based. Ta-da! I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as fire for now, because it's already named, you know, Flame Blast, so why wouldn't I just leave it at that? Anyway, so, like I said, real simple one. Nothing too spectacular about it. So let's go into some of my more complicated ones as far as modules are concerned. First, we'll take a look at them, and then I'll try to explain exactly how I set up the modules and my thought process for them, and why I made them. that's something that you want to consider with your custom bullets. What purpose are they going to serve? So let's go ahead and take a look at this one real quick. This one probably took me like, I don't know, 5 minutes to make after thinking through some of the processes for it. So the thought process behind this bullet, and I'll just shoot it here so you can see it. Here we go, get the camera out there. The thought process behind this one is, if something's running away from me, this will chase them with damage. Now, it's not like a lot of damage, it's more of a pestering thing, just to stay on top of them. As you can see, that's how it works. It doesn't work great if someone's approaching you. Works alright, but there's better uses for your cost. This is just something I made just to make it. Just to see if I could. So let's go ahead and take a look at the modules. Okay, this looks really, really complicated. I know it does. You're just gonna have to deal with me here. So there's two different types of shots in this game, or there's two different ways to differentiate them, I suppose you could say. When you add your module, you're gonna see right there in the middle where it says triangle, it'll say live ammo or deco ammo. Live ammo is exactly how it sounds. It's live ammunition. It means it's going to do damage on impact or on radial burst or explosion, what have you. If it's a deco shot, that means it's a decorative shot. It's not going to do anything. All it is just going to travel, and it's going to have the little, the animation. That's it. Now, what you want to do is you want to use your deco shots as vehicles for your damage. So the way this one works is, I'll try to explain this because this is a little complicated. My deco shot travels when I press the button. Okay. Let's see. Get out of that. I kind of made this this last one here, this last edition here, after the fact. We might actually be able to move these. Yeah, we could move this here, and I'll see if this ruins it or not. Nope, didn't ruin it. At least I think it didn't. Yeah, okay, no, it still works the exact same. So, okay, the way this works is when I press the button, the deco shot goes out. When I press the button, in addition to the deco shot going out, a deco orb is also placed. Now, when the deco orb is placed, a radial, which is similar to, say, like a flamethrower or something like that, in this case, an ice thrower, will also go shooting out from the orb that was placed via the deco shot. Then, 0.2 seconds after I press the button, another deco orb is placed, which is the second in line, with another radial attached to the deco orb, and then half a second after I press the first one, a third one is also placed with, you guessed it, another radial. So let's go ahead and see that in action. It sounds way more complicated than it is. All that deco shot is doing is carrying 3 orb shots with radials attached to them. Now, unfortunately, you only have, I believe, 8 module slots. Yeah, you have only 8 module slots to work with in order to make some of these bullet creations. And inevitably, one of them is almost always going to be a deco shot if you, are trying to do stupid stuff like what I just did. This one was not as complicated as it sounds, or not as complicated as it looks, rather. It's more, I just wanted to see if it would let me, right? So let's go ahead and exit there real quick, save those changes. This one was one that I had an idea for after I made the ice field orb shot. This is one, and I'll just show it off real quick. Looks way more simple than the first one. However, let's see, you can see the actual damage. So, 243 damage, not bad. Now, the big differences between these are the cost. The first ice field that I did, the first orb shot that I did, cost 332. I can only carry 3 of those into any given battle. This one, on the other hand, without giving too much damage up, costs only 62. That means I can bring like 16 of these things. Like, let's unequip this, let's equip this, and let's just... yeah. We can bring 16 of these with not too much left over in cost. So, all things considered, it's not too bad. Now, exactly as the name states, it's for area denial. If something's here, or if I have a lot of little creatures or something like that, I can just shoot this here, and if anything stays near me, it will take damage. Where this really shines is shooting a whole lot of them. You can get a lot of damage out, and since they don't cost very much, and you can shoot all 16 at once, this is great for, like, downed monsters that are weak to any given element. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to hit every single body part on any given large origami, but at the same time, it's relatively easy to use, and yeah, it doesn't require much thought. That's part of the allure for some of the custom bullets. What I'm hoping is later on in the game, I'll be able to unlock homing shots, and I'm certain I will, because they were in the last games. There's no reason to not include them in this game. One of the things I'm going to do with that is I'm going to... well, you know what? I could just show you what I want to do. So let's go ahead and go to Create Bullet. And I'll go through the whole process, along with my thought process for why I want to create a specific bullet. Not that I have the modules for it yet, but hopefully I will soon. Anyway, so first things first. What do you want to do with this custom bullet? What I would like to do with this custom bullet is have a fire and forget homing bullet that will go above a battlefield and then shoot a bullet from an orb. I mean, it sounds more complicated than it is. Just trust me on that one. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what range we want to go with this. You've got a couple different options here. You've got the point blank shot, which, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Pretty much exactly what you think it's going to be. You've got the short range. These are actually live shots, which I didn't mean to do, but whatever, it doesn't really matter right now. Then you get your long range, which will go, like, all the way out here. I think that's the limit, actually. It goes a little bit further. But generally speaking, you probably want to, you know, stick to what range you want to use for, you know, whatever you're using. So let's go ahead and go to Deco Shot. The important thing with this is these bullets won't interfere, or rather, these modules won't interfere with any other modules that get fired along the same timing as them. And that'll make more sense when I go more into, you know, bullet interference and whatnot. So let's go ahead and just pick long, since it doesn't super matter. Well, I guess if we want to save 3 costs, we could choose short. That'll serve our purposes just fine. A common thing to do with this is, and if I can find it, I'm looking for a specific shot that will curve. Okay. So I'm looking for one of these curve shots. Now, if I wanted to go for the type of shot... okay. So the way this one's going to work is, in theory, I'll shoot this. Doesn't matter. I could be on the move, on the run. Doesn't matter. I could just shoot it. And an orb is going to crop up. Let's just take any orb, keeping it to Deco Shot. We're going to go with a stop orb. And it's going to stay in place for, I guess, a normal amount of time. Now, if I leave it the way it is, that's going to happen. It's just going to fire directly in front of my bullet. Now, the part about bullet creation in this that makes it so unique is the fact that you can choose when certain effects happen if you can get creative enough. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and press right on the D-pad, and that's going to link it with the first module. See? That's what the little line on the left means. It means that when something happens with this first shot, the second shot will be affected. And we can choose the parameters for when that effect happens. So, right now, it's set with number 1. That means when I press the button for the deco shot, this is also going to happen. So, it's going to look exactly like how we did before. But I can change it so that it says, you know, right after number 1. See? It changed the positioning. So right after I fired it, it went off. Now, that's not far enough, so let's see what half a second looks like. That's not bad. If I were sticking with my whole plan, I would probably just do that and call it good. That does exactly what I want it to. Now, I don't have the necessary module. I'm pretty sure I don't anyway. It'll say shot type, you know, just shot, I guess. And then it'll say trajectory, and it should say homing. I don't think we actually have that, unfortunately. So we'll just have to deal with it. Now, one thing we could do is we could actually take this, change it to, let's say, a deco orb that faces downward. Now, it doesn't look any different, really. But it is facing downward this time. So if we went over to large size, and then went for, say, bomb, and then we link that with number 2, that will mean that, just like with the first one, the bomb is now linked with our second module. Now, if I'm doing this correctly, this will shoot, this will be deployed a half second after the first shot, and then immediately it will shoot a bomb downward. That is what it should do. Let's see if it actually does. Yeah, pretty much. Bomb is a little different. Let's get a little creative with it. So let's just make a new module here. Let's say short range. All right. We're gonna go ahead and move this. Oops, sorry. Move this here. Okay. So this will be when 2 hits. Doesn't matter if it hits the ground, doesn't matter if it hits a foe when it hits. That should work. So the way this, I think, is going to work is this will shoot, the orb will crop up a half second later, it will then immediately shoot a bullet straight down, and then that bullet will explode upon hitting the ground or an enemy. Okay. Close. Let's see when... Let's say when it fades. Not quite. Oh, I think it was because of the link. So let's try when it hits. Yeah, okay, so that did what I wanted it to. So figuring out how all that works, you know, there you go. So this could be, I don't know, like bombarding or something like that. It's just... It's exactly what you think it is. It just launches up in the air and just shoots straight down. Now, that's a really, really complicated way to just blow up something. We can't really carry a whole lot of these. It's more for just the appeal and the look of it. Or if, say, there was an origami in front of you and you wanted to hit something behind it, you could go, you know, do that. But yeah, it's we're getting a little, you know, up our own butts about it, I suppose you could say. But that is just one example of something you can do. Another thing you can do is you can actually change, like, the angle of the actual shot itself. This is... Yeah, I haven't seen much use for this, but you could. So, like, we could take the angle and move it over here, and... Yeah, I don't even know. It's very ridiculous. So let's see if we give it, you know, a bunch of angle like this. See what happens. Not much. Of course, I think I'm trying to change the angle of the actual explosion, which makes no sense. But say, for instance, we went up to this, changed the angle so that it was down. Yeah, is changing where the actual trajectory of the bullet is going. So it's actually going back towards me, which is a little funny. If we wanted it to go forward, I believe we would do that. Yeah. So that just lengthens the travel time itself, which is, again, we're getting up our own butts about it. Then you could do stupid stuff like, change it that much. And then it's going to go way the hell over there. Which is just ridiculous. And, serves no purpose. But you can do it. You can do it, which is pretty cool. And then, let's see, how do you change the, oh yeah, you can change the rotate, which does absolutely nothing for our actual bullet, so it is what it is. But there's, those are little things that you can do there. So, yeah, this is really, really excessive when I could do effectively the exact same thing for less movements and less bullets. I could just have the deco shot immediately go forward and hit something and explode. But, hey, doing this kind of stupid stuff is fun, right? Let's go ahead and save that. And you can change the, let's see, you can change the icon, you can change the name. Let's just give this, that, and let's change the name to, Stupid Bomb. There you go. Stupid Bomb. There you go. It's a stupid bomb. Alright. Costs way too much. It goes really into convoluted methods to explode something. So, there you go. Yeah, those are just some of the things that you can do with the bullet crafting, and once I get further in the story and have more bullets, I'll be able to show off some more other things. But, let's take a look at my area denial again. I really like this one. It's pretty simple, but I like it. Yeah, it's just fun. And you can carry so many of them, and I love that. You can also do simple little things, like you could change this to, say, short. And, yeah, that's going to change the positioning of it however far you want. I chose point blank because, I don't know, it's just easier, I suppose. So, yeah. Pretty easy. Now, let's go into some of the other things that you are going to run into as far as problems are concerned. Get out of here. Just give me 16 of these things. There we go. You're going to run into what is called interference delay. So, okay, let's give a quick example here. We'll go ahead and put a shot and then another shot. This should be an interference delay. Okay. Or interference decay, rather. So, if you look in your log here, it says M1, that's Module 1, was fired. M2, Module 2, was fired. M1 and M2 caused interference decay. There you go. Means it does, 56 damage. Now, if I were to get rid of this, just delete that. One bullet by itself does 38. Now, if I were to change this module... Let's just put that in there again and change it so that this one is when one hits. See if this does. Yeah. So, as you can see there, it did 74 damage. So it did 14 or 18 or 20 damage or whatever more than when the interference decay also happened. Now, an interference decay is pretty much exactly how it sounds. You get interference between two modules when they're fired at the exact same time. They're counteracting each other in a sense. It used to be that if two modules were fired at the same time, they would cancel each other out. It wouldn't even be decay. So they've actually gone a little lenient on some of the players here, which is pretty neat. So, yeah. Also, you know how it's saying 36 and 38 right there? as you put on more modules, you will have diminishing returns for damage. So, like, let's just throw this in here, and there you go, and let's just put all these in here. Oops. And bring that all the way over. Okay, so this one will be when one hits. Okay, this should be, yeah, like a bunch of... Look at that. Look at all that damage down. See, that's all simultaneously hit decay. So a bunch of that damage is just being negated. Ta-da. Easy. Now, what you want to do in this type of a situation is you want to go... When 2 hits... on 3 hits. I think this'll work. If not, it's just there's just too many things happening all at once. So let's see if this works. Okay. Oh jeez, yeah, no, it's this. There's just so much going on with it. It can't even deal with it. There might be a way to deal with this. Okay, let's see here. You can change, like, the timing. Let's see here. It's still not gonna work there. Right after 2... Oh, it's only firing the 2. Interesting. Still 92. Well, the main example of what this was doing was just showing that more modules you put on and all that, the interference decay also makes a difference. But yeah, this is too much to try and deal with. I'm gonna be straight with you. But let's see. Can't change that. It's not connected. Alright, so that one's when 2 hits. Let's see what this does first off. Oh man, this is such a mess. Look at all this interference decay. Ah. Yeah, this is just a mess. Ooh, even less damage. Whatever, just delete that. Yeah. So, okay, here's another example of interference decay. Okay, so edit modules. If I change this to a regular live ammo orb, this should have... Yeah, this will also have interference decay. So it will do less damage. So that's 201 damage. Let's throw this in here and get a damage comparison. Alright, so like 40-something damage difference. Now, the reason why there was interference decay there is because a deco orb, as I said earlier, doesn't technically interact with your live ammo. Our live ammo in this instance being the radial shots. That's the only thing that's actually doing damage in this whole setup. So, if you have a deco orb that, you know, fires at the exact same time as other things, it's going to have interference. But since they're decos, you don't have to worry about it, since technically they're not interacting. So yeah, that's just some of the things you can do in this, and I feel like I've just been rambling and I haven't explained anything, but, you know, who knows? Maybe you guys can glean some information off of what I've shown you today. But, yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing more little things that I could do, I could try to come up with some more bullets that might interest you guys. You know, at a later time, once I get more modules and things like that to put together. But that's up to you guys. It's up to you guys if you guys want to see that kind of stuff. If you do, let me know. Throw it in the comments. And if you guys have any questions about bullet creation that I might not have gotten into, which I'm sure there are going to be a lot, leave them in the comments. I read all my comments. So if you guys want to see something, let me know. And I'll try to answer your questions. And if anybody else knows, bullet creation better than me, please also help out some of the new players in the comments as well. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me check out Icefield again. I like this one. I just like how it looks. Anyway, I will catch you all later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.